So I have a bit of a head cold, so please forgive me for vocally not being 100%. But um, I thought it might be interesting just to kind of show basically how we put together our furniture modules. And this is probably the simplest piece that we will be building for the Eiger 3 camper. And this is the enclosure for the porta potty. It's also an ottoman, so it's basically both. It's an ottoman and a porta potty garage is kind of what we're calling it. And one of the things that we can do with SketchUp and 3D modeling in general is we can actually put together a very detailed virtual construction of what we are actually going to be building with aluminum extrusion before we do any building. And this is super helpful for making sure that all the pieces coincide, are attachable. And you can see in this, in what I'm showing here, that there are kind of multiple profiles being used. We have a rectangular profile across the bottom that has 3 T-slots. There's one in the top, one in the side, which is in the middle, and then there's another one on the bottom that you can't see. We're also using a square profile, which has 2 T-slots, one on one side and the other on the other side, but it has 2 sides that don't have any T-slots. And that's really nice for being used on the outside corners of things. And you can see we've got 4 of these posts that are all using that square profile. We're using a rectangular profile on the bottom, and that's because we have some captured HDPE panels that are going in the sides. And in order to put the framing together, we need to have a way to get at the attachment points, which requires T-slots on the top and bottom of the bottom profile. So I can show that in a little bit later in this video. So yeah, so this is just the framing, and we use end caps. These are plastic end caps for all the posts, just so none of that framing is exposed. None of those extrusions are exposed. But yeah, let me show you how we're putting this together. So this is the frame only for this particular cabinet, mini cabinet. The next thing that we'll be putting in is basically dropping in a 1/4-inch HDPE panel, which will essentially be the place where the porta potty is going to sit. And we are going to notch this at the 4 corners. So it's got support on all 4 sides, and it's a relatively small piece of material. So and it will support a lot of weight. So if this was a larger section than 1/4-inch HDPE, probably wouldn't be appropriate. We'd probably need to bump it up to 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch. But because this is a really small space, it's basically 18 inches square. It's fine. So that's the next thing we'll do. And then after that, we're putting in this profile piece of aluminum extrusion. This is yet a 3rd profile type. And this is basically just there. We're calling it a guard. It's basically there just to keep the porta potty from sliding out through this open space in the front, and just making sure the porta potty stays put. So inside this cabinet. Okay, so the next thing, side panels. So these are captured panels. They fit into the T-slots. They're going to be gasketed so that they won't rattle. We've been using this 1/4-inch HDPE pretty much on every build of every cabinet build we've done, and we really like the material. It's fantastic. It looks great. It's easy to work with, and yeah, so it's really good stuff. Okay, so the last thing, well, not the last thing, but the next thing is the porta potty itself. So we're going to be using a Thetford, and it just fits really nicely. You can see it's behind the guard. It sits right on top of that bottom panel, so it's slightly elevated off the actual floor of the van. And one of the I'm not going to show it now, but basically to use this, you just flip open the lid and use it, and then you're good. The last piece, last component of this is the thing that actually makes it an ottoman, which is this cushion top. And we're using a board cushion. We're going to use 4-inch Dacron wrap foam. It's going to be very comfortable to sit on. And you can see that just kind of in the front here, you can see these rubber feet, and we have 4 of those on the underside of the board cushion, and that helps keep that board cushion in place so it doesn't move around. So it's just kind of wedged into place. There's no other attachment point. And part of the idea is to make sure that that cushion top stays put, but also is easily removable when it's time to actually use the porta-potty. So that's basically that. And then let's just kind of show this thing kind of in operation. I just set up a very simple animation for this just to kind of show how that top flips. Now it's not going to be hinged, but it can be easily lifted off and just placed aside. So yeah, so that's our ottoman / porta-potty garage. Let me close this back up so you can see that. I'll go back to where we were. Yeah, so again, through the magic of SketchUp, we can actually show kind of how we assemble things, and the sort of the importance of using SketchUp in terms of design, and also using those component importable step files that we can stretch them, scale them, etc., and move them around and rotate them as necessary. So it's really helpful, and we've got a great system supplier for our aluminum extrusion system, and they have some great resources that we like to take advantage of. So there you go. There you have it. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks.